Hi, so today I just want to do a part two to intro to college pretty much. I just want to go over a few things I didn't really cover in the first video. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with procrastination. So I am a very bad procrastinator. In high school, I used to wait till the last minute to get my stuff done, maybe the night before or 2 nights before to start a project that's worth a lot of points. That's not going to work in college. I try it now sometimes and it just doesn't work. You wait till the last minute here and then something comes up. So I might put off my paper forever and then I plan on doing it Thursday night. Well, then if I get a call to work Thursday night, I won't have time to work on my paper. So trying to work stuff in at the last minute, it's never a good idea. So that being said, that goes hand in hand with time management. In college, you're gonna have to have some sort of time management skills. My sophomore year, my second year, I didn't have any type of that. I mean, I had class, I had work at LSU, I had to go over LSU for classes because I was still at Southern, and it was a lot to handle. I didn't really know how to get work done on time. So my junior year, the year I'm currently in right now, I bought a planner. You should always have a planner. So get a planner, boys and girls. If you don't like planners, get a journal or something. And in that planner, it needs to be Sunday through Saturday. The whole thing, just the whole week. So you can plan it out. Okay, I'm gonna do this homework on Sunday, and then I'm gonna do this on Monday and this on Tuesday. That way I can have everything studied for. I'm gonna review it all on Wednesday and I'm gonna take my test Thursday. That's how I plan out things. So I'll be like, I'm reading chapter 1 on Sunday, chapter 2 on Monday, chapter 3 on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday I'm gonna review chapters 1 through 3, and then Thursday I have my test. So you could do stuff like that. Or birthdays. I write down birthdays in there because sometimes, like, when you're in school, it's hard to keep up with everybody's birthdays because you think about, oh, this test is here and that test is there. So yeah, write down birthdays, write down tutoring sessions, write down if you have to go out of town, write down spring break, write down when you need to order something, when you need to ship it back so it can be returned, all of that. So just put that into perspective before you get to college. You need to learn how to manage your time wisely because you're not going to be able to just sit around and push things off to the last minute sometimes. So learn how to do that now, and that'll really help you in the long run. So, where to study? Okay, so some people, like myself, I study in my room. I just really like my room. There are pros and cons to this. So a pro to studying in your room is it's quiet. The environment is however you want it to be. And you can really, get things done. Sometimes if you take a break, I take breaks and clean my room in between studying. So like I read chapter 1, then I'll pick up the clothes off the floor, and then I read chapter 2, and then I'll fold the clothes up and put them up. I read chapter 3, then I'll iron some clothes. I read chapter 4, I go wash dishes. So that's a good, effective way to get things done. A con about doing your studying in your room. So sometimes the people next door might be a little loud, like you might hear their TV or they might be talking and that might distract you. I'm an RA, so people knock on my door. I have to get up and go check on them. And also, I have the tendency to lay down. I study in my bed, so I lay down. Sometimes you might fall asleep and you gotta wake back up and it's like, oh, where was I? So that's a thing. So if you tend to do that, I really suggest studying outside of your room. I don't know, I prefer to be in my room. But if you study outside your room, there are different places you can go. So you can literally go outside your dorm and go sit down. There's probably chairs and a table outside your dorm. If it's a nice pretty day, just go chill outside and study. If not, you can go to LSU has something called the Quad, and the Quad is a big old open space, just like an open yard area. You go chill on the grass underneath the tree, set up a hammock or something, and you can study there. It's nice and pretty quiet except for the people walking around. If not, you can go to the library. I know the first and second floor are kind of noisy, but the higher you go, the quieter it gets. So by the fifth and sixth floor, like, it's dead silent. Like if you study in dead silence, they study in dead silence. So yeah, the library, there's different classrooms. The ROTC building I go to sometimes, they're always open. So you just gotta find that place that helps you study right. Also, figuring out how you study is great too. So in high school, I was used to making flashcards. I stay up all night, cutting flashcards in half, writing them front to back, front to back. But I got to college and I realized I don't have time to do this. Like, I don't have time to write it out, cut it in half, make sure they're all square. So I discovered Quizlet. Quizlet is like electronic flashcards on a website. So that kind of helps. But then I realized after a while, maybe flashcards aren't my thing. And it's not that flashcards aren't my thing, it's just different classes have different ways you need to study. So if it's a class where all you need to do is remember like terms and definitions, use something like Quizlet. If it's a class where you need to understand how a problem is worked out, or you need to diagram something, you need to write it out. Okay, so good example. I'm in biology right now, and we have to remember things for biology. I have to draw a diagram. I don't know if you can see that, but my diagram splits off. You use different highlighter colors sometimes, and it helps you classify what goes where, and then you can put your information underneath. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been diagramming off my information. That way, hopefully for my test Friday, I can remember by the diagram. Because I draw it out, I can see exactly what I'm studying. Also, writing stuff over and over again helps. So that's why I rewrote this. Like, I already have the notes printed out, but I rewrote everything just so I can know what I'm talking about. So writing it and saying it out loud when you're writing it helps you remember too. So yeah, those are different ways to help you remember to study. Another thing to study, you can call a friend if you have a friend in the class, or a friend that's taken the class. You can call up a friend or two, and y'all make something called little study groups. In study groups, y'all meet up at the library, y'all meet up outside, and y'all just go over everything that you learned in class. So don't get there not knowing anything. You need to know some of the information to teach it back. Also, there's SI sessions, which I'll probably go into a little later. But SI sessions are basically, there's a student inside of your classroom that is going to remember everything the teacher taught that day and is going to review it with you in a session later on in the week. But I'll explain more into depth about that later. But those are really great to help you study as well. So yeah, finding what you're good at, like what is your best study way. Finding your best study way is what will help you get through college. So don't just stick to one study way. Like, if I would have stuck to flashcards, I would have been pretty bad off in math. Like, flashcards won't help me with math. So just find the way you like to study for that class. It might be different for different classes. Choosing a major. Okay, this has been the hardest thing ever. My mom would like to ask me what I'm going to major in, what I want to study in college, and I really didn't know. I just kind of said something. I said criminal justice. I didn't know anything about criminal justice. I just said it because I was watching TV and she was asking me, and I'm like, just go away, criminal justice, that's it. And so I ended up going to Southern for criminal justice. I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't know any jobs really besides police officer for criminal justice. I just said it just to say it. Then I ended up changing to nursing. So let me address criminal justice. Don't just pick a major because people keep asking you. If people keep asking you, oh, what are you gonna major in? When are you gonna major in? You don't have to pick one right away. It doesn't have to be chosen before you graduate. You can enter into college and be undecided. And undecided means I'm going to take like general classes. I'm going to take a basic math, a basic English, a basic science until I figure out what I want to do, which that's something I probably should have done. So if you don't know what you want to do when you get to college, you can always major in an undecided area until you figure out what exactly you want to do. Then I got talked into majoring in nursing. I don't like blood or the body or anything, so I don't know what happened there. I think it was all the peer pressure. My mama keep telling me that, the world's always going to need medical people. They'll never run out of medical people. So I'm like, cool, I'll get me a job in the medical field. But I don't like anything in the medical field. So that's another tip of just advice. Just don't let people persuade you into thinking, oh, you should major in this. Because if you think about it, this is your life. If I would have majored in nursing, I would have been sad all my life because I hate blood. Like, I would have been stuck in a job that I don't want to do. So just think about that when you are choosing your major. Don't let people, in your ear trying to persuade you to do one thing, because it's not their life. They're not paying for college. You are. So choose what you want to choose. If you want to major in art, you major in art. If you want to major in basket weaving, major in basket weaving. Be the best basket weaver there is. But don't let other people choose what you want to study. Because if you're at school and you're in this class and you're like, I hate this class, you're not going to have any motivation to go if you don't even want to be in that major. So take the time to make that decision and try to have a good idea by like 11th grade, if not 12th grade, what you want to do. And like I said, if you don't have anything by the time you graduate, you can always go to college for undecided major. I don't know about Caleb, but Sam and Sincere, like, if y'all, I guess, if y'all want to take a year off to kind of figure out who you are and what you like, that's always good too. You don't have to go into college straight away. I know a lot of people like to force people to go to college straight away and they get just stuck in a major. So make sure you take the time to figure out what you really want, because college is a lot of money and a lot of time invested. It's about 4 or 5 years of your life, if not more. And it's a lot of money, and you don't want to go in there and graduate and then you have a degree in something that you don't even like. So make sure you think about that. So maybe you get to college and you want to change your major, like I did. I changed my major twice. Don't feel bad about changing your major. When I wanted to change my major, I felt so bad and I waited so long before I finally decided I want to change. Don't do that. Waiting longer could actually hinder you from graduating on time. So I was a criminal justice major for a whole year. So I was taking criminal justice classes. When I switched to a nursing major, those classes didn't switch over with me, not all of them. So I was behind already. And then I switched to kinesiology, which I'm doing now, and I transferred schools. So a lot of those classes didn't even come over to LSU because, one, I wasn't studying nursing anymore, and two, I had changed colleges. So make sure if you are going to change what you want to major in, it's in your first or second year. Try to have that together at least by your second year, but I say by your third or fourth year, like, you need to know what you're going to graduate in, because it's really going to hold you back. So right now I'm supposed to graduate in May of 2019. Because of some other factors and the fact that I switched schools and majors, I'm now graduating in December of 2019. So it's a lot that goes into that. Just try to make sure you know what you want. Yeah, so changing schools. So yeah, you might pick out your school and think, this is a great school, I'm gonna love it here. And you get there and it's not everything you expected. It's not what you are paying for. Things aren't going well. You don't have to stay there. No one's forcing you to stay there. I know a lot of colleges, if you take a certain amount of hours, you can transfer. So like, I couldn't transfer from Southern until I had at least 24 hours, or like 24, 25 hours. So that's like a year. A year's worth of school. I couldn't really go anywhere. So yeah, try your school that you picked out for a year, and if you don't like it, like, you can transfer. Just apply to different colleges. So at Southern, like, I applied to Northwestern, I applied to Louisiana Tech, I applied to University of New Orleans, I applied to LSU, I applied to a whole bunch of places. And once they see your credits, one of them has to accept you. And then you can just try that place out. But I suggest making sure you transfer your first or second year as well. Like, after your third or fourth year, you need to be settled down in a good college area. So going back on changing your major, when you want to change your major, it might push your graduation date off a little bit. Don't worry about that. When I first changed majors, I was so scared that I wasn't going to graduate in May of 2019. I was like, all my friends are going to graduate in 2019. Why won't I? I'm going to be behind. It's fine. A lot of people that go to universities don't typically graduate in 4 years. At LSU, the average graduation date is in 5 years. So technically, I'm on the right path, because a lot of college kids that go to college and they realize, I don't want to study this anymore. I want to change majors, or I want to change schools, and that pushes their graduation date off a little bit. So don't be afraid if you're worried about your graduation date changing. As long as you graduate, you're okay. A university is typically 4 years. Like how I'm doing, I'm living on campus, it's a big campus, it's a university. So maybe a university isn't your thing. Maybe you just want to go to college for 2 years, or maybe the thing you're trying to study is only for 2 or 3 years. Then you can go to a community college. There's nothing wrong at all with community colleges. People like to joke about them and stuff like that, but you're still getting an education just like they are, just for less money. So with a community college, sometimes they have on-campus living and sometimes they don't. Typically you save a lot of money because community colleges cost a lot less. They're for less amount of time, and you can typically live at home. So yeah, if you want to do a community college, and you want to graduate from there, do it. Or if you want to do a community college for 2 years and then you want to switch to a big university for your last 2 years, that's also a good thing. That will save you a lot of money as well if you think you're not ready for a bigger university. If I would have known better, well, if I wasn't doing ROTC, I probably would have did that community college my first and second year, and then I would have switched to a bigger university like LSU my third and fourth year. Just because, it saves a lot of money. If you are doing college near your house, and when I say near, I mean like an hour, hour and a half. If it takes you an hour and a half to drive from your house to the college, I suggest staying at your house. It saves a lot of money. Staying on campus, like if you're at a big university like this, it's like $3,000 to $4,000 each semester. So from August to December, it's $3,000 to $4,000 just for where I'm staying. It doesn't include payments for school. It doesn't include tuition. It doesn't include a meal plan. That's just for where I'm staying. So I'm spending about $8,000 from August all the way until May just to live on campus. And eventually I'm going to have to pay that money back. So if you live near school, and I know an hour drive to school it sounds pretty rough, but it will save you a lot of money staying at home if you are doing college near your house, or if you could stay somewhere else, for cheaper. So yeah, look into that as well. Yeah, so I just want to go over washing and drying clothes. When I got to Southern, I didn't realize you had to wash and dry your clothes, like you had to pay. So it's 75 cents to wash and 75 cents to dry. And I didn't have any quarters, so I suggest stack it up in a whole just big old money bag of quarters. That would really help whenever you wash and dry clothes, because I got to college, I didn't have no quarters. I had to go to the bank and get change, and that's not fun. So get you some quarters to wash and dry clothes. Be aware of the washer and dry machines that don't work. So sometimes you put your money in and it'll take it and nothing will happen, or you'll spend money on drying and your clothes won't dry. So always be prepared for things like that. If you ever need your money back, you can always go talk to your RA or somebody in charge of that, and they'll be happy to get your money back for that. So yeah, washing and drying clothes. Always have quarters, ask people for quarters, find quarters, look in vending machines for quarters, all of that. At LSU, you could put your money on your card, your ID card, and use that to swipe and wash and dry your clothes. So try that. Lastly, I want to cover ID cards, like I just said. So here goes my ID card for LSU. It has my picture, my signature, date of birth, student ID number, and your name. Guard this card with your life. This card is everything. This card, it gets you can check out books in the library. You can buy meals with these. I told you, all the points from your food, you can buy food with this. It gets you into any events that you may have to get into Sometimes if you want to rent stuff out, you got to use this. If you want to go inside of the rec center, work out, you got to use this. You're going to need this card your whole college career. You can also get student discounts with this card. So I had one from Southern. My friend stole it. I don't know when I'm getting it back. But make sure you keep up with this card. A good way to keep up with it, when I first got here, they got little pockets that go on the back of your phone, like this. And you just slip your card right into there, and it stays there. I thought my card was gonna fall out for the longest, but no, it really stays there, and the pocket's really helpful. I've had that pocket on there since I got here, so it's been on there for about a year or so, and I've never lost my ID card. So always have your ID card with you. If you don't want a pocket on the back of your phone, put it in your wallet. I don't suggest just have it freely laying around, because people could pick it up and use your little points or your swipes to the cafeteria off of your card. If you do lose your card, make sure you go to the card office immediately and let them know what's up. You might have to pay for a replacement, but just try not to lose it, and then you won't have any of those problems. This concludes everything I'm talking about today. Probably cover some more stuff later, but thanks for watching. Until next time.